Americans, we say, oh, we're like the best country, but we don't have like 30,000 won. I called my mom, I was like, 안녕하세요. 저는 미국에서 온 렉시씨입니다. 만나서 반갑습니다. So I've been living in Korea for 3 years and I came to Korea because I was interested in Korean culture and I wanted to have a very unique and special experience living outside of the US. So that's why I came here. A big thing for me is I don't want to go back to the US because I don't want to have to drive a car. I really like living in Seoul where I can just get on the bus and train or get a taxi. It's so much easier to not have to worry about driving, especially in a city. It's just so much more convenient and it's cheaper, I think, too. So that's one thing. A second thing, I feel like in the US, everything is so spread out. So it takes a long time to do different activities or go different places. You know, if I go back to the US, I will really miss being in Korea because I can go anywhere I want just very easily. But back in the States, you have to get in the car and go for like hours. And lastly, the healthcare is very important. It's much different here than it is in the US. You know, the US, it's usually very expensive unless you have insurance. But in Korea, even if you don't have insurance, it's much more affordable. So that's also like super important too. I was really shocked because actually I went to a skin clinic and he was gonna prescribe me some medicine to take for my acne. And I was thinking, okay, you know, back home, whenever I had like acne medication or lotions, it was always very expensive. Maybe like a couple $100s for like a cream. But here, he was like, okay, here's your prescription, you know, go to the pharmacy, get your medication. And I remember the pharmacist gave me the pills. She's like, oh, it's a little expensive. Is that okay? I was thinking, oh my gosh, like what is it? Like how expensive could it be? It's someone won $30. That is like so cheap. Take my money. I don't care. Take it. Just take it. It's just so shocking. So much cheaper than the US. 30,000 won. I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I just got my medication and it's like $30. She's like, oh my gosh, that's great. You know, I feel bad that we can't have this too. So actually, the first thing that's different is you don't have to reserve an appointment when going to the hospital. So in the US, you know, unless you're going to the emergency room, you usually have to make an appointment. And oftentimes you have to wait a few months. But here, you can kind of just go to the hospital. That actually happened to me. I was not feeling so well. I didn't really know how to make an appointment, so I just kind of went. They were like, okay, write your information and please wait. And it took like 30 minutes. I went and got like a shot. That was so fast and easy. Didn't have to make an appointment. Like if you're really lucky, someone didn't show up to their appointment or someone canceled, then they're like, okay, maybe we can get you in today. But oftentimes they're like, can you come tomorrow or later because you need to make an appointment before. Okay, I'll go home and be sick. I was really shocked by how fast everything happened, like in the hospital. You know, I work as an English teacher and before you start your contract, you go to the hospital for like a health check. It was very overwhelming actually. They have to check like eyes, ears, all these different things. And then they're like, here. Okay, thank you. And I'm like, I just got like a full health check. It was like 20 minutes, you know? Usually in the US, you have to wait a bit longer to have all those things done. Yeah, another difference is the price. It's much cheaper here than it is in the US. Unless you have like really good health insurance, then it's like manageable. But if you don't have health insurance, then it's like you don't want to go to the hospital. Like you just try not to go to the hospital, you know, unless you're like dying. It kind of sucks, but you know, here you don't have to worry. The maximum I've paid is maybe like 5만 won. So crazy. I'm really frustrated that it's not like that in the US too. It is still expensive. You know, I've been lucky that I think up until 25, I've been using my parents' insurance. I think when I was going to like the dermatologist, she prescribed like a acne like cream. Even with the insurance, it was $500. It was just insane. And I was like, I don't want it if it's that expensive. Like that's crazy. I think at least $100. I don't know for sure. Just estimate, like medication is extra, but like visiting the doctor, it's like $10. So nice. It's definitely too much. Americans, we say, oh, we're like the best country, but we don't have like healthcare. Like that's good healthcare. Yes, many people die because they don't want to go to the hospital, which is terrible. Or if you're like very ill, you go to the hospital, they treat you, you recover, but oh, here's the bill. It's like $100,000. It's ridiculous. It's like, just kill me. I'm just kidding, no. I don't really feel much better because I have to pay this money, you know? But I still feel sick. Another difference between the US and Korea is the pharmacy. One of the things I noticed in Korea Korea is when you have a prescription, they put each individual prescription for each day into like the different baggies. I love it. It's so convenient. And they tell you like 아침, 저녁. So no like opening the bottles and like getting a pill. It's like, it's just ready for you. You just rip, open, doop, take the medicine and you're done. So easy. But in the US, I think it's like one bag of pills, this bag of pills, this bag of pills. Now you have to separate. So it's nice that like here, organize it for you. And then they'll tell you like on each bag, like when to take it. It's just easy and convenient here. In the US, medications are usually more expensive. And it's the same thing with like if you have health insurance or not. You know, it's just like if you're paying out of pocket, yeah, medication, everything. It's like a business. They're trying to make money off of all these drugs. You have to have your health insurance card and then they can tell you how much money it is. If you don't have health insurance, your medication can be like $500. It's ridiculous. I think usually pain relief, like period cramp medication, that's not as expensive. There might be more available in the US where you don't need a prescription. So it's just different, but most things like simple things like Tylenol or like period cramp medication, that's usually not very expensive. The healthcare in Korea, I think it's so great and affordable and easy. You don't have to be scared to go to the hospital to get the medication that you need. I really wish we could have this affordable healthcare back in the US as well. If you like this video, please press like and subscribe. I'll see you later. Bye!